AMC raises $917 million during the coronavirus pandemic. The official Godzilla vs. Kong trailer drops. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to push back movie releases. HBO Max developing a new Harry Potter series. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locked On Entertainment. I'm your host, Adam Gorman. I hope you guys had an excellent weekend. Mine was pretty exciting. Watched a couple movies, played some video games, just very chill during this winter time. Not to mention COVID-19's out, not a whole lot to do either. But we did get some big news over the weekend, so let's go ahead and just dive on into it. First up, we have Harry Potter live-action TV series in early development at HBO Max. Now, this source came from The Hollywood Reporter that executives have had a series of meetings with writers with the goal of bringing the blockbuster franchise to television. It is also said that no writer or talent are currently attached, as the conversations are still in the extremely early stages and no deals have been made yet. So we have no idea what this news could bring, what this all means. All we know is that we could very well potentially get a new Harry Potter series, whether it's based off of the books or a whole new story entirely. The real question is JK going to be in it? Is she going to be involved in any sort of capacity? The tweets or whatever that she had said, about transgender and all that really hurt her and the franchise a little bit. And I'm wondering if they're going to go the route away from her, or are they going to bring her in? There's been a lot of speculation, too, that they were going to do a sequel to the Harry Potter franchise, the movie franchise, with, was it The Cursed Child or whatever, the play that was made a couple years back with the original actors. And that's been going on for years. But now maybe they're going to pause that. Maybe they're not going to do that. They scrapped that project because now they're like, oh, well, let's do an HBO series. Would we get the same quality as like Game of Thrones or Sopranos, something like that with, such a high quality budget that almost like every episode was like a movie itself. I will continue to follow the story until something big or major does, get announced. Until then, I'm just excited that there's more Harry Potter talk actually coming. AMC Theaters, the world's largest cinema chain, has raised over $917 million in new equity and debt capital, the company said on Monday. They pretty much went on and said that this $917 million would help the company get through the dark coronavirus-impacted winter, adding that its financial runway has been extended deep into 2021. Now, we all know last year, if you didn't know, AMC Theaters was this close for filing for bankruptcy and closing permanently. All its theaters, worldwide, gone. Bam. Just like that. Now it seems like they're just pretty much riding high. They got their money, they can hold on to it, kind of grip tight, and just wait for this storm to finally settle down and things can reopen back up. Not entirely sure how much that's going to help them, as later on in this episode we're going to talk about really the impact of the coronavirus and the new movies that have been delayed into the fall of this year. I really do hope that AMC theaters can, survive the storm. A world without theaters just seems sad. So hopefully the $917 million that they were able to get does carry them to 2021's fall time. Time will tell. Hopefully some of the bigger movies that do come out, between now and fall time, like Godzilla, there's rumor that Justice League is coming out, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that does help bring at least a little bit of money and continues to carry them into the fall, but only time will tell. We'll see.
This is our only chance. We have to take it. We need Kong. The world needs him to stop what's coming. this child. She's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her. And I think that in some way, Kong did the same. It's Godzilla.
These are dangerous times.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was a war. And they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Nobody gon' stop for me.
Kong bows to no one.
Now this movie could have went both ways. It could have been really bad. It could have looked really stupid. It could have looked like, okay, whatever. Like, it looks like it's going to take a while for it to build up. Or it went the other way and said, you know what? We're going to do exactly what we did with Godzilla, King of All Monsters. We're going to show them early. We're going to have a whole bunch of them. And we're just going to let them at it. Now, who knows what this movie is actually going to entail. The story, could be, a broad range of anything. And I truly believe that, the secret organization built Mechagodzilla. Godzilla found out. He's pissed because it threatens his rule. So now he's going off and, messing everybody up because he's trying to find Mechagodzilla. And then humanity's confused, like, what's going on, not knowing that Mechagodzilla is really out there. So now they bring in Kong to fight Godzilla or to kind of defend themselves from Godzilla. And these two collide, not knowing what exactly is going on. Godzilla might think, oh, it's Kong. Kong is threatening my rule. And Kong's like, nah, dude, like, I'm just here to defend. I don't know exactly what's going on, but you're making me mad, and you're hurting people. This got to stop. And then maybe Mechagodzilla is found, and then those two are like, oh, that's the bad guy. We need to go mess him up. Who knows? I'm just excited that it's coming out both on HBO Max and still coming out in theaters. I have every intention to go see it in theaters first, the way it was meant to be seen in IMAX. It's a theater popcorn movie at its finest. I can't wait. Godzilla vs. Kong comes out March 26th. Can't wait. Alright guys, now we have the biggest disappointment of today's episode is the big news. Over the weekend, a number of movies was delayed until pretty much fall of this year or even pushed back to next year again. Not only did Sony push back movies, but Universal and Disney also got on board, making pretty much this first half of 2021 very mixed bag. I mean, we're still getting movies. Like I said, super excited for Godzilla vs. Kong. The Little Things does come out this Friday. So we do have some movies coming out. Mortal Kombat's in April. It's just, a lot of the other bigger movies that, that got pushed back from last year, got pushed back again this year. So here's the list so far of the movies that got pushed back so far. Right now we have Nobody. Nobody is now due on April 2nd, 2021. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, is now due out June 11th, 2021. Sony's Cinderella will now come out July 16th, 2021. Bios will now come out August 13th, 2021. The Kingsman will now come out August 20th. Probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, is 007's No Time to Die. This movie got pushed back several times and will now come out October 8th, 2021. Last Night in Soho will now come out October 22nd, 2021. Ron's Gone Wrong will now come out October 22nd as well. My biggest disappointment, Ghostbusters Afterlife, will now be released November 11th, 2021. Morbius will now debut January 21st, 2022. Uncharted will now come out February 11th, 2022. Bob's Burger, the movie, got so far pushed back it doesn't even have a release date. So those are the movies that so far have been pushed back. Now I know I probably missed a handful of them so far, but that's not the point. The point is we have more delays, which means that theaters and the entertainment, industry is just going to get hurt more due to this pandemic. COVID-19 has put a beating on the film industry, a straight beating, to the point where it's hard to get excited for the movies that were supposed to come out last year. There's a lot of movies that I wanted to see last year that are coming out either late this year, and it's just like we've seen the trailers, we've seen this, but now it's just getting pushed back because you guys want to make the money. And I get that. You guys spent millions and millions of dollars on these films that you want to see profits, you want to see it get paid for, so that way in hopes that you will make more money and possibly make sequels or whatever have you off these movies. The theaters are going to get very congested with a lot of movies, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. I would love to. If I can go see a movie that was supposed to come out, and then, go see a movie, and then, oh, there's another movie I can see right away. Cool, I might do a double dip that day. I'm crazy enough to do that. However, your average Joe is not crazy enough to do that. So now the movie theaters, these studios and theaters really need to figure out a way to not make it as congested, and continue to keep the hype up for these movies that got pushed back. Disney did it, I feel like, right with Mulan. Yes, Mulan was not the best movie in the world, but I think families were willing to pay $30 for this film to watch it because, one, it was something new. A family of four could spend easily $50 on just a movie. That's not including popcorn, drinks if they decide to go that route, or even if they try to sneak it in, they still have to spend all this money, before they go see the actual movie. So a $30 price tag for that movie is not really bad. I don't see a problem with them just saying, hey, we're tired of delaying these movies. We got to go ahead and just release them on some type of platform and charge for it. And whatever theaters that are open, go ahead and just release them, into those theaters. That way we have two, avenues of money coming in, and just let that be that. And they can still have that hype for that movie so that people would spend that $30 or whatever price tag to decide to put it on to, watch that movie, whether it's at home or in the theaters. I truly believe the right way is for something like AMC to really come out and say, hey, we have an app. We can sell the movies on this app, and we get a portion of the money, and you guys get a portion of the money, and whatever have you. There needs to be, these are, these times are just, they're crazy. And I think theaters and studios really need to adjust and really think about how to keep their films alive. With new movies being made and eventually going to get dropped, are you just going to push those back? Or are you going to release them around the same time that movies are supposed to come back a year and a half ago? Who knows? That's the issue. I do like HBO Max's, setup with releasing these new movies. I think the way they went about it was definitely wrong and very much a shock to, those filmmakers and the studios and stuff like that developed these movies. I think they could have handled that way better, but I do like that format, that still gives people a chance. They went out and they paid for it, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, all these, streaming services have this opportunity to buy the movie in a way so that way they can not only release it, at home, but in theaters still. So long story short, these delays are very disappointing. I'm very much worried that the film industry is going to be changed dramatically this year and what the schedule really looks like. I can only hope that things can go back to normal here soon and that the vaccinations do work and that things reopen here by summertime. Otherwise, this show isn't going to last very long. Here are your new releases on DVD, Blu-ray, and VOD. Netflix's Border Town, Season 2 of Doom Patrol, Born a Champion, Princess of the Row, Season 1 of Snowpiercer, and You. Not a whole lot coming out today, but that does conclude today's episode. I hope you guys very much enjoyed it and found it informative. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy watching me and just hearing about the news and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys are excited for the new Godzilla vs. Kong. I know the movie delays also put a damper on things, but there's always Thursday. Maybe we'll have some exciting news. Maybe there's new things that we can talk about. We do have the little things coming out this Friday, so that will be something that I will cover on Thursday and my expectations for that film. Until then, you guys stay safe. I'll see you on Thursday at 11 o'clock.